Hello, and welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Pet McDonald, and in this video, we'll be learning the 2 to 4 player game Ninja Camp, designed by Adam E. Dalton and published by Action Phase Games. Sensei Saru will accept only the most talented pupil as his personal apprentice. In order to prove yourself, you must compete against the other ninjas in the camp, showing superior speed and skill. So, join me at the table and let's learn how to play. To set up, first deal one of these evade and sprint cards to each player. You can identify these starting skills by their wooden title plate. Clan cards show an animal name down the side, like this. Deal one randomly to every player, placed color side up in front of them. Each player selects a color, placing 3 ninja meeples in front of them and 1 on their clan card as a reminder of their color. We're setting up for a 2-player game, so I'll return any unused meeples, evade, sprint, and clan cards to the box. Now shuffle the remaining 56 cards together and place them face up onto the table in a grid known as the training ground. 8x7 for 3 to 4 players, or 8x6 for 2 players. Return any unused cards to the box. Starting with the player who most recently attended summer camp, they will place one of their ninjas onto a card in the training ground. Continue taking turns doing this in counterclockwise order until all 3 of each player's ninjas have been placed. Keep in mind, 2 meeples cannot be placed on the same card. You must place each of your meeples onto differently named skills, and you cannot place a meeple onto a wall. So instead, I might place my ninja here, and that's the setup. Ninja Camp is played over a series of turns in which players will move their ninjas across the training ground, collecting as many points from skill cards as possible. Gameplay will begin with the last player to have placed a meeple during the setup, and continue clockwise. The most common action you will take during the game is playing a skill card. Let's take a look at that now. First, pick a card you are holding and place it face up into a personal discard pile you will create in front of yourself. You may only choose a card to play if you can fully resolve its effect, which will involve some form of movement. Unless permitted by the card you played, you may not move diagonally, through or onto another ninja or wall, back to the space you started on, or over a space that you already passed during this turn. And keep in mind, you may only ever move your own ninjas. After completing a move, add the card your ninja started the move from to your hand, creating an empty space in the training ground. During movement, you may not move over these empty spaces. Once you claim a card, your turn is over, and play passes to the player on your left, who will then take their turn. The cards you add to your hand will provide you with new ways to move your ninjas during future turns, as shown by their effects here. The number on the top right corner of the card also denotes how many points it will be worth to you at the end of the game. Now let's take a look at all the different possible skill cards you can collect and use in the game. Evade lets you move a ninja 3 spaces in any direction. But remember, as with all these skills, you must follow the normal rules for movement unless otherwise directed. When using Stealth, you move a ninja 2 spaces and claim the first card that you stepped onto, in addition to the one you started from. This increases your hand size beyond the regular 2 cards. Playing Dodge moves a ninja either 1 or 2 spaces. Unlike regular movement, this may be done diagonally. The Sprint skill moves your ninja in a straight line until you reach an edge, empty space, wall, or another ninja, stopping you at the last valid card. Ambush allows you to move in a straight line as long as you would eventually, legally, run into an opponent's ninja. You then enter and stop on their space, pushing them 1 space in the direction you were moving. To perform this skill, there must be a legal space for the opponent's ninja to end up on. For example, this white ninja would not be able to ambush the black ninja, as this would push them off an edge. If you start your turn adjacent to at least 1 empty space, you can play the Leap card to move in a straight line over any number of adjacent empty spaces, as long as the next card you come to is a valid space to land on. Shadow copies the last skill used by another player. If the last player did not use a skill, or they played a shadow themselves, your shadow copies whichever other skill was most recently played. If you collect a trap card during the game, it cannot be played. Instead, it just clogs up your hand. Wall cards found on the grid will never be collected. As previously mentioned, they cannot be moved onto, over, or through. Instead of playing a skill from your hand, on your turn, you may use your Ninja Clan's special ability by resolving its effect and flipping it over. This effect can only be used once per game. We won't go over each one, but as an example, a player using the Penguin can return a skill card of their choice from their discard pile back to their hand, and immediately play it. If you cannot play a skill card or a clan ability, you must pass. You may also choose to pass even if you could play a card. However, once you've passed, your turn will be skipped for the remainder of the game. As the game progresses and more skill cards are removed from the training ground, eventually all players will be forced to pass, causing the game to end. Players now claim the cards their ninjas are currently standing on and add them to their discard pile. Combine all the points from the cards in your hand and discard pile to find your final score. Keeping in mind that traps are subtracted from your score. The player with the highest score is the winner. In the case of a tie, the tied player who took the last turn is the winner. Included in the game is this Sensei's Apprentice card. If you'd like to share your victory, you can take a picture with it and post it to social media. And that's everything you need to know to play Ninja Camp. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to put them in the comments below, and I'll gladly answer them as soon as I get a chance. But until the next episode, thanks for watching.